Hi everyone, welcome to Google's quarterly report Q4 23, just a day ago, and very interesting update. Today we'll be really focusing only on business model updates because from an innovation perspective there was some really rich updates on AI, and therefore that's going to be our highlight. Main update, it was already in December and you would have heard about it, is Gemini AI, and yeah, it was long anticipated. If you've been following any of the previous quarter updates, there was always investor questions. What about Gemini AI, etc. So finally, early December, they've launched it. Gemini is a series of industry-leading models, and that is a true statement for sure. Main difference to all other models, or most other models, is that it's been built from the ground up to be multimodal. So multimodal means, in this case, text, audio, image, video, and code. Code being quite a big use case within AI for at least the coders and programmers and those that want to be. But I think for the broader audience, text, audio, image, and video. And these models have been trained from the ground up using all those modes. I'll say a few more words later on that one. It was highly anticipated, as I said. Literally, it was being requested. Updates were being requested all along for the last, I think, 3 or 4 quarters by analysts. It was launched on the 7th of December or 8th of December. And the most famous part was one demo that got most of the attention. It was largely positive. There were some mixed reactions, which in a way were a bit strange because the demo model, it was clear from the beginning to anyone who knows about AI that it was not a live recording of the interaction with Gemini. It just could not be. But some people thought it was. Then when they read in YouTube the link how the video was created, there then was some pushback on that. Was more a storm in a teacup type thing. I think it was still pretty impressive updates. You can watch those videos. I got a link a bit later. Anyway, so another thing that is really different about Gemini is it's got 3 different layers, and Nano, the most efficient one, it's even on device, and some parts of it, we'll see a bit later, are even on mobile devices, and they work without network connection even. So that's pretty efficient, and I'm not aware of anything like that that works without network connection. Then Pro, it's also been rolled out to a number of their products. And again, we'll cover it in a moment. Ultra is coming soon. And the way it sounds, it will be on a subscription basis. But I'll say more to all of these. So that's going to be today's main update. And let's look at some of the things. So as mentioned, multimodal on the input side as well as on the output side. And it can also have speech. We have seen, if you look, for example, if you looked at our booking.com update, I think 2 quarters ago, check out our YouTube library of videos. You would see, for example, booking.com, their end of funnel, their beginning of funnel AI, actually, front of funnel AI, also has multimodal outputs for you. For example, they have a booking button with booking suggestions based on your search queries with photos of the hotels and so on, text and a button. Well, the button's not multimodal, but still. So some of this exists, but a model being trained fully from the ground up to be multimodal, that's a bit different. So, and that's what they're basically saying here. This is different because of, whatever you want to call it, clean sheet approach from the ground up. Here, as an example, is actually if you look at that video, it's one of those videos you can check out here in that link. Very interesting, very impressive. So here they got, as an example, they got text. This is a homework. They got text, handwritten text and a drawing. And Gemini picks up on errors, for example. It reviews it. If it's correct, it says it's correct. If it thinks it's got errors, it comes up with suggestions. So here it is multimodal input in terms of text and hand sketching, so image. That's, depending on how well that works, it is very, very good. And that caveat that I just brought up, so there are all sorts of industry benchmarks or Gemini Ultra, which is the layer, the top layer, and that's the layer that you're not going to get access to for free. Let's say that clearly. It will be included in some other subscriptions. So that one, they say, has beaten other models in 30 of 32 used benchmarks. So these benchmarks are typically compiled by third parties or researchers, and yeah, all the ones that you see here in blue is not 32, but it's just a text and image, video, blah, blah. On those, when they ran these models, they say they have beaten, in this case, GPT-4V. Well, if you follow these kind of things, you would know that then there's always the other party like Sam Altman and others. They say, oh, but they did this and that. And others say, well, it's not really. They haven't done this benchmark correctly and blah. Let's trust that they have done it correctly and are either very close or better than these. And honestly, it's not our aim to drill into these kind of details. It shows that Gemini is, I think, at least a state-of-the-art AI model. And given that it's been multimodal and working against probably non-multimodal models, that's quite a good achievement, because I don't know if there is already benchmarks for multimodal testing. Another one here, just if you look at those demo links, etc., there's quite a few use cases and demos, etc. Here, this one I found interesting and impressive for myself, having been researcher myself for a long time. This one, they had one piece of research that went for until 2019, and then they went on to a scientific portal where there were then 200,000 new papers. Obviously, then the first task was to filter out all of those that are not related in any shape or form to this research, and apparently Gemini has done that over the lunch break, but not just that. It's also then extracted all the relevant data and incorporated it and not extrapolated, that's the wrong word. It's then amended the summary. I think they said 200 papers out of those 200,000 were relevant for this study. So apparently it analyzed everything and continued those graphs. Very interesting. How much help it needed is always another question. And that's something then, in some cases, they give you more sources and more details, as they did in that demo video. And in other cases, they don't. But already it is quite promising, let's be honest. We want to be balanced. We don't want to bash them up, nor do we want to cheerlead anyone here. But it appears to be very convincing. And it's not just that. Then, so this is a kind of a number of applications where the Gemini model has found its way into. This is not all. There is more than that. I've just chosen some of the ones that I found most interesting. And I'll cover some of these, most of these, 3 of these, in the next few slides. So Pixel and other Android phones, Android developers and Bard, and more enterprise developers. So let's look into one of them, into 2 of them, let's say, to start with. Very interesting, circle to search. You have an image, you say, all right, you just circle it on Android phones. I think for now it's the Pixel and one of the later Samsungs that have that. And you don't need to go into any search engine or anything. You can do that literally in any app. You don't need to switch apps. You circle and it gives you these kind of options that you can do. You can shop what you see. You can look up something related to it, travel inspiration, etc. So very interesting. It probably reminds a little bit of how you can use the Apple Pencil in any app where where you have a text field where you can enter things. Very interesting. Next one. If you like this kind of stuff, please hit the like button. We always appreciate your help to spread the word. I think we are sharing interesting things, so help us out a bit. Then next one. So this is what has been included in the latest Pixel phone, and from there it will and I think at least some of the features are also on the Samsung. But as you know, these kind of things then get rolled out through the Android batches, etc. So what can it do? It can do, so this is one of the ones that work without the network connection. So you have a voice recording and it will summarize the key points of that. And as I said, it's AI, in this case, Gemini AI driven capability that's on the phone. So no network, and as mentioned, that is not that common these days. Then the Gboard, I don't know if you use it, very useful with a swipe technique, etc. But now it's got a smart reply suggestion. So it will suggest the smart replies. It's not totally new. You certainly know that from other apps and things like Outlook and Teams and whatever. They're not very good. They're very generic and broad. Here they're saying that it's high quality suggestions. Well, when you got it on your phone, you can try it out and let us know. And then there's more, like not everything is on the phone, like the cutting edge video processing, as they call it. So there are demos online as well. It takes out the, adjusts color, stabilizes videos, adjusts lighting and graininess, etc. But that happens basically on the cloud in this case. There's all sorts of other photo editing things that they already rolled out on the Pixel, like like slow-mo and dark and so on. So interesting things. And just want to show you application cases, but no. So Gemini is also now, Gemini Pro is in the free layer of Bard. Bard is the conversational search or search generative experience interface that you can use in your browser. And one of the new features was it can now create images on your inputs. So I said, well, then give me an image of Google Gemini. So this is how Google Gemini looks. Initially, it said it can't do that because it's not a tangible object. But then before I did anything, it actually came up with these photos, with these graphics. And then I said, well, then give me an image of Google Bard. So this is how Gemini sees Google Bard. Very interesting. I loved it very much, especially this one. A bit of fun. All right, just last but not least, guys, AI in search and other products. So if you look, there is definitely looks like the demos look like there's definitely a lot of value rolling in the education space. Maybe I'm a little bit biased and have looked predominantly at those ones, but that looks very interesting, like homework help, etc. And homework help not necessarily in the sense, not only in the sense of it will do stuff for you, but it can correct your stuff, because we all know the discussions around cheating and plagiarism, etc. But there's more than that, genuine help, as in, as I've shown, scanning your own homework creations and suggesting things. So interesting. Then, I think, check out our old videos also on Google, on SG, Search Generative Experience, and Bard. We've had, I think, updates in at least the last 2 updates on Google. We spoke about Bard. Conversational experience that uses Gemini. Again, you can watch the demo video, but read how they've put together that video. It is not as fluent, and Gemini is not yet a human-like responder, even though that is how it seems in that demo video. Then Bard, I spoke about it, and I spoke about that Gemini Ultra will be available for subscribers. I think it's being rolled out these days, so to say. And currently the Pro version is free and included in Bard and available in 40 languages and 230 countries, basically everywhere. And so pretty much this is if you want to learn more, check out our free article. This was an update on the latest AI innovations, because that, as far as I'm concerned, was the most interesting topic of the Q4 update. But if you want to learn more about the entire business model of Google, check out the free article. And if you want to learn more than that and how digital business models work, check out our flagship course under bizmodels.com, digitalbizmodels.com/course. And yeah, you will learn a lot. I will say that it is unmatched in the space of digital business models. And as always, we're covering investor events, but this is not investment advice. It's for educational purposes on the topic of business models. I hope you've enjoyed it. And yeah, check out other videos that we have, previous videos on Google, on booking.com, and also if you like things like AI in the space of graphics, etc., check out our update on Adobe, where there's also lots of AI-driven innovations. Thanks very much, guys.